So the precious metals market, it's absolutely on fire right now. And if you're an investor trying to figure out your next move, well, a brand new tool just hit the scene. We're going to take a deep dive into the PRISM Precious Metals Index, figure out what makes it tick, and see why it's already making some serious waves.
All right, let's get right into it. This market isn't just about big numbers. It's constantly moving, constantly changing. And to really stay ahead of the curve, you need the sharpest tools in the shed. That's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
So here's what we've got on tap. First, we'll talk about just how big this market is. Then, we'll introduce the new PM index itself. After that, we'll get into why precious metals are so important, check out a few of the companies really pushing the envelope, and wrap it all up with the big takeaway for you. Sound good? Let's go. Okay, Section 1, a flourishing market. Before we can really appreciate a new tool like this index, we've got to understand the sheer size of the playground it's built for. So let's put some numbers on the board. In 2023, the global market for precious metals was worth over $306 billion. That's a huge number. We're not talking about some niche sector here. This is a major established global market. And get this, it's not even close to slowing down. By 2032, it's projected to hit $500 billion. That's right, $501 billion. That's a compound annual growth rate of 5.6%. So yeah, it's not just big, it's getting bigger and fast.
And that kind of growth is exactly why we need to talk about our main event, the brand new PM Index. It's a tool that was literally designed for this kind of dynamic, growing market. So let's mark the date. On August 21st, 2025, PRISM MarketView officially rolled out its Precious Metals Index. This is the new instrument we're putting under the microscope today, and its whole purpose is to bring some much-needed clarity to the sector.
Okay, so what is it exactly? Well, the PRISM Precious Metals Index keeps tabs on companies in gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. Pretty standard, right? But here's the twist, and this is what makes it really interesting. It has a specific focus on innovation. We're talking about the companies that are changing the game in mining, refining, recycling, and tech. It's not just about who's pulling the most stuff out of the ground, it's about the entire ecosystem.
All right, which leads us right into our next section. Why do these metals even matter so much? Once you understand the core drivers here, it becomes really clear why an index like this is so timely, and why its early performance has been, well, pretty incredible. You see, the demand for these metals is coming from all over the place. Take gold. It's that classic safe haven asset, right? Central banks have been buying it up for 13 years straight. Then you've got silver, which is absolutely critical for industry. Think solar panels, electronics, you name it. And platinum and palladium? Well, good luck with the clean energy transition or the auto industry without them. The big picture here is that these aren't just one-trick ponies. They are financial hedges and industrial powerhouses all at the same time.
Now hold on, because this is the number that's going to make you sit up and pay attention. Since January 2nd, 2024, this index has posted a return of roughly 83%. Let that sink in. 83%. That is just a phenomenal run, and it really shines a spotlight on the massive potential of the companies it's tracking.
So, who exactly are these companies that are posting numbers like that? Let's peel back the curtain. Our next section gives us an inside look at some of the key players driving all this innovation and performance.
First on our list is Vista Gold Corp. They're a development stage gold company, and believe me, they are definitely one to watch. Their crown jewel is the M. Todd Gold Project, located in a really mining-friendly part of Australia. What's their game plan? Smart, value-driven development that doesn't require a mountain of cash up front. And their books look great. They finished the second quarter of 2025 with $13.2 million in cash, and this is the kicker, zero debt. For a company at this stage, being debt-free is huge. It just means less risk and a lot more freedom to make things happen. All right, next up we have Caledonia Mining Corporation. Now these guys are an established gold producer, with their main operations in Zimbabwe. Their main asset is the Blanket Mine, which has been producing for a long time. And wow, their recent numbers are something else. In Q2 of 2025, their revenue shot up 30% to $65 million. And their net profit, it more than doubled to $20.5 million. This was all thanks to record production, and it helped boost their cash on hand to over $26 million. Just really strong performance all around. And finally, let's switch gears just a little bit and look at NioCorp Developments. This company takes us from precious metals into the world of critical minerals,
which are just as strategically important, if not more so.
Okay, so their Elk Creek project out in Nebraska is a really big deal. They're targeting things like niobium, scandium, and titanium. They just wrapped up their first phase of drilling, and they did it ahead of schedule and under budget. That's huge. And all that data is critical because it backs up their application for up to $800 million in financing from the U.S. Export-Import Bank. I mean, we're talking about a company that could be a game changer for domestic supply chains.
So after all that, what's the big takeaway? Let's bring it all home in our final section. Your new market lens. What does all this mean for you as an investor?
You know, there's a quote that really just nails it. The whole point of this index is to give investors a comprehensive lens into this diverse and strategically important sector. That's what it all boils down to. It's about getting clarity and focus in a market that can be complex, but is absolutely vital.
But look, this story is far from over. We're seeing innovation everywhere, in mining, in finance, and how these metals are being used. And that really leaves us with one big question to chew on. With everything moving this fast, what's going to be the next big catalyst for the precious metals market?
If you want to dig deeper and keep an eye on this index yourself, you can head over to PRISMMarketView.com. It's definitely one to watch.